Hello YouTube. Right, been a busy time. I've been working on the trailer, reconditioning the trailer. I've done the trailer hitch, and with the trailer I had to look at a few things. Now, quite a while ago, I mentioned in a previous video that I had to basically rebuild the trailer hitch because a car hit the trailer, bumped into my trailer at traffic lights, and yeah, I rebuilt the hitch. Now I've rebuilt the hitch again, but I looked at the trailer and I thought, there doesn't seem to be any damage, it seems to have taken it well, and I ran it for quite a few months after that and no problems. That includes distance, and I thought I'll take the trailer apart and repaint it, and so I thought repaint it, and I took it apart and I found a little problem, and I'll show you what I mean. Well, I found, yeah, I'll show you what I mean. These stays down here, across here, they'd cracked just around here. Just around here, they'd cracked on both sides. It also cracked there. It'd broken there as well, which was a bit of a problem. So yeah, there were cracks on the on one of the box sections. So what I did is I welded up the cracks on the box section using my arc welder, which I'm not very particularly good at on thin sheet steel, as that shows. It didn't come out too well, and yeah, it's very hard to arc weld thin steel. It's a lot easier to MIG weld it or TIG weld it, but I get on with the arc welder, and it actually came out fairly good. I bulked up the metal and did it. Anyway, I thought I needed to beef it up, because this was the original number plate holder, but it also added a bit of strength, and it also cracked around there, and it also cracked here as well on the fork. So I thought, I'm going to have to work at this and figure out what to do. So I tried re-welding that plate, but I thought it's too thin. It's far too thin for the job. So what I did is I went to dropping stuff. I went to a scrap merchant that it's sort of been there for decades, but then closed down and was not operational. And then a couple of years ago, they started selling scrap again. Awesome! So I went along and I said, have you got any plate steel I can use that's thicker than that? And they went around and looked for me, and they found me this stuff. Now I got quite a lot of this stuff now. I've got a nice big wadge, and you see how thick that is. That is nice and meaty. And so so I went to them and said, can you find me some steel that I can use? And they found some, and it was at a perfect angle for the number plate as well. I just couldn't believe it, and it was nice and thick, and it was heavy, and yes, that'll do. So what I did is I bought it for £3. £3 for a large chunk of scrap. I was well pleased. For if I went and bought it in a shop, I'd be looking at 30 to 40 quid for that chunk. £3. Anyway, so what I did is I cut it up with angle grinder and I drilled some holes. Now on here, I cut out a nice square, and I drilled the holes. I used a cardboard template to get the holes in the right place. Then I cut a big hole in the middle there, because this is also steel. This is aluminium, so I couldn't weld to that. Well, I could, but I don't have the equipment or the skills to do that. But this is steel, and it comes up through here, through a hole through there. And I thought I'd drill a hole through, weld it up. Not only will I have the strength of the plate, the aluminium there, but I've also got this well and truly welded onto this. That'll do. So that went fairly easily. It went a lot easier than I was expecting. But as I say, this is the top bit. Basically, I'm sandwiching between the two box sections that are on the trailer. So I thought if I sandwich it up together, when it bolts through, you've got the spreading of the weight there, the strength there, and the strength there, and it'll hold my number plate. And so yes, I did that. Now what I could have done, so if you have a look at that, it's nice and thick, so lovely. Right, so what I could have done is I could have just welded along here, but what I did instead is I've glued it in place using fiberglass resin, and it actually, I can pick up the entire trailer with this. I won't do it now because I've been playing with the paintwork. I've been painting it, basically ready to put the wheel on. And so what I did is I've glued it in place, and I can pick it up, which added strength. But as it's going to be sandwiched with these bolts, it should distribute the weight away from where I've had to weld between these holes, this hole here, weld around here, and distribute the weight across a broader section of the beams, and that should do it. I've also repainted the. I've actually cleaned this up, altered it slightly, and this is the UJ which I've got to put on. Now that's painted, I can put that out the way until it's ready. Put it out the way there. Right. So what I've got to do is I've got to finish this. This is quite a nightmare to do, but I also cleaned. I took the bolts out, redid the bolts, put some, what do you call it, thread lock on the bolts to keep them in position, then cleaned it up, painted it. I did actually take it apart to do it, so that wasn't so much of a problem. So what I've got to do now is marry this with that. Now these, let's take this one out. These, funnily enough, are bolts from the bike. When I got the side stays for the panniers, I got some fresh bolts with them, and they bolted in. But these ones, the original ones, and I thought they're nice. They'll be stainless, weather resistant, also the right length to go through these holes. So all I've got to do is, what I'll do is I will put mastic, well not mastic, yeah, I'll put silicone mastic around here, so that'll also glue the stays, because when I took this off I'd already put mastic on it, and I took the bolts out and I still had to wrestle to get that off. So extra strength, extra strength, extra strength, a little bit of glue, a little bit of resin, and then the bolts, everything adds up. And so, as I say, it ran for months with those cracks and that little break on here, and it ran for months with that and no problems. So they weren't expanding, so now I've welded them up and everything like that. It should be strong enough. Should be strong enough. Anyway, that's an update. Goodbye YouTube.